You know, the internet we use every day. It was never really built to know if you're a human or a bot. So today, we're going to dive into a project that wants to completely change that, building a new kind of digital world from the ground up. Let's demystify the world ecosystem.
And it all starts with this one really foundational question. What if the internet could actually tell a human from a bot? For real. And we're not just talking about ending annoying spam or captchas. No, this is about something much bigger. Restoring a sense of fairness and authenticity to our digital lives. It's the core problem this whole project is trying to solve.
And this is their mission, right from the source. It's a really bold vision, isn't it? A public utility. Think about that. They want to build something as fundamental as the internet itself, but this time with identity and ownership baked right in for everyone. The whole goal is to create a much more human-centric online world.
Okay, so let's get into how they're doing this. Because look, if you want to build an internet that actually prioritizes people, you can't just slap a few new features onto the old system. It doesn't work that way. You need new tools, a whole new foundation. And that's exactly where the world ecosystem comes in.
So, how does it all work? Well, the entire system is really built on three core pillars that have to work together perfectly. A unique digital passport for every person, a dedicated blockchain that gives humans perks, and an app that kind of acts as your front door to it all. We're going to break down each one, starting with that digital passport.
All right, let's start with what is, really the cornerstone of this whole project. It's this idea of a digital passport. This is the key invention, the one thing that makes everything else even possible. And it's called World ID.
So what is a World ID? Well, think of it like a digital passport, but with a huge twist. It's all about privacy. It's a way for you to prove that you're a unique, living person online without ever having to share your personal data, like your name or your government ID, every time you sign up for something. It proves that you're a human, not who you are. That's a crucial difference.
And this right here, this is the exact problem it's built to solve. On the internet today, bots can just spin up an infinite number of fake accounts. This leads to something called Sybil attacks, and they're used to manipulate everything from social media trends to big financial airdrops. World ID is designed to enforce a simple but powerful rule. One person, one digital account. That's it. It brings back a baseline of fairness.
The process itself is actually pretty straightforward. First, you do a one-time verification to prove you're a unique human. Then, you get your private World ID, which is stored only on your own device, nowhere else. From that point on, whenever an app needs to know you're real, you can prove it. The real magic here is in the cryptography. You generate this one-time anonymous proof called a nullifier. The best way to think about it is like a unique ticket for a concert. The person at the gate can scan it and see that it's a valid ticket, but they have no idea who bought it. And once it's used, it can't be used again. It proves you belong there, but it doesn't reveal who you are.
Okay, so you've got this awesome digital passport. What now? Where do you actually use it? Well, that brings us to the next big piece of the puzzle, a blockchain custom-built for verified humans called WorldChain.
Now, WorldChain isn't just another blockchain in a very crowded field. It's designed from the very beginning to have special perks just for its verified human users. And for you tech folks out there, this is really interesting. It's built as an L2 on the OP stack. That means it gets all the security of Ethereum, but it's also built for massive scale, which, is pretty crucial if you're aiming for 1 billion users.
One of its absolute coolest features is this idea of priority access for humans. So what does that actually mean? Well, think of the blockchain like a busy highway. Normally, it gets clogged up with traffic, and a lot of that traffic is bots. WorldChain basically gives humans their own express lane, making sure your transactions don't get stuck behind all that bot traffic.
And this is a big one. On top of that express lane, verified humans also get a gas allowance. This just means you get a certain number of transactions for free. It's like getting a small stipend that covers your basic tolls on the highway. This is huge because it dramatically lowers the barrier to entry for everyday people to actually use and participate in this new economy.
All right, so we've got the human-only passport and a human-first blockchain. That's the foundation. But what are we going to do with all this? What can you actually build? Well, that brings us to the final pillar, a whole new kind of app store.
They're called mini apps, and the best way to think about them is they're like lightweight web apps that live right inside the main World app. This is great for developers because they get instant access to this whole network of verified users. And for you, the user, it means getting new experiences that are totally seamless with your identity and your wallet.
And this is where things get really exciting, because it just opens up a ton of possibilities. Imagine a social network where you know every single user is a real person. No more bot armies trying to manipulate conversations. Or think about airdrops or limited edition art sales where it's truly one person gets one share. No more bots gaming the system. It enables this whole new world of applications built on fairness and authenticity.
And, they're not just letting anyone build anything. The ecosystem is being built with some really clear, smart rules in mind. The guidelines for developers are all focused on creating safe, fast, mobile-friendly experiences that actually give you real value. It's about building a quality app store, not just a digital Wild West.
All right, so we've walked through all the pieces. The passport, the blockchain, the apps. Let's just pull back for a second and tie it all back to that original big vision.
Because when you put all these pieces together, you see what this is really all about. It isn't just one piece of tech. It's a complete, integrated ecosystem. It all starts from that simple but really profound idea of being able to prove you're unique human, and then using that proof as a key to unlock a more fair and a much more accessible digital world for everyone.
And that really leaves us with this one big final question to chew on. If a project like this succeeds, and if every single person on the internet has a private, anonymous way to prove their humanity, what kind of world will we decide to build together?